Beautiful beings of the universe, welcome to now. Going to start this video with this beautiful sand clock time and the way how efficiently the sands in this top compartment goes down on the below one. And I got this for the beauty aspect of it because it's so beautiful and it's so even with the flow of time as how it goes. And I like to watch it as it goes completely from the top chamber to the bottom one. But anyway, I wanted to do some card readings because I've been using this angel therapy, the awesome 44 deck cards from Doreen Virtue, and I often use it whenever I feel like, or sometimes when you just want to relax and you don't know, but you also want to let go of the negativity. That's a very deep topic that I have to speak about. But anyway, for now I will just draw this card, and this is vacuum away fear. And there's Archangel Michael here, and this card says, call upon Archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, this situation, and everyone involved. So you might feel that there is a lot of negative energy being sent from the enemy towards you, or ill intentions. And the idea is that many times the enemy is actually inside us, which we see it in the outer world. So it might be like I watched a video today in which there was a man who was 35 years old, and this is a true story. This is a story from Paramans Yogananda, and he's telling this story where this 35-year-old man, he was very upset with his life and how things were at his work, and he was not getting promotion, and everything was literally like falling apart. So he was telling this thing to his grandfather, and his grandfather said, it's okay, it's just a matter of time, and if you persist with your good karma, good deeds that you do now, because whatever you suffer is a result of your own past actions, it's your own karma. So then this man laughed and he said, "No, but I've been doing everything to my best effort and things were not going fine." So then his grandfather, he had long back written some of his lessons, what he learned in his life, in a red diary. And one day he was the grandson, this man, 35-year-old man, he was just looking in his cupboard where he found his grandfather's diary. And on that book, he has written clearly of how to fix the issues that you have, and a lot of troubles that you see in the external world. It's actually a reflection of your own inner state. So in that video, he's talking about the clearing up of your space. So first of all, having a good clean space, taking out all of the cobweb was the second step, because when you have cobwebs in your home, that is a sign that you are entangled in your mind. And then the third thing that he talks about is, third, what was the third thing he talked about? uh, I don't remember, but the final thing, and that was very important thing he said, was to take out the unused pens. Unused pen, because with, see, the pen is so important. You write it with it, with everything. Like the moment you were born, your name was written. When you marry, you are given a certificate. When you die, that is signed. When you get a job, you sign that. So everything is with a pen. So pen is so essential. So pen contains a lot of stopped energy. So you must let go of that. Whatever is the unused pen, keep it all in a black colored bag or a plastic, and throw it out in the dustbin. After thanking that, thank you so much, because the pen is the representative of goddess Saraswati, and she is the divine Hindu goddess, and she basically takes you uh, through all of the educational things and information, knowledge. Basically, a lot of it is knowledge, and you, when you are discarding the unused pens, that is because you want to thank all of the time that it has served. Also, discard the pen that you might have received from somebody who doesn't have best intentions for you, somebody who's jealous of you, like some coworker who gifted you a pen set, but they do not have best intentions for you. So take them out and don't use it, because that would carry that negative energy. And we are going big on energy because it's so essential. And you need to definitely take care of your space, of the unused stuffs, because those are the things that is actually creating a lot of blockages. If you feel so in your body, in your mind, or have just fear about something which you shouldn't be so much fearful about, like for example water. So if you're scared of water, maybe in your past life you died from drowning. Or maybe if you have fear of heights, maybe in your past life you died from falling or something like that. So a lot of your fears actually comes from your memories, and know that you're born in this body in this lifetime, but the soul that is living in this body is eternal. It has lived through billions of lifetimes, not just billion, in infinite amount of lifetimes you have traveled through that. So you might be scared of, and you might be having unreasonable fear many times from the society. And you might be feeling stuck sometimes because you truly don't understand what you're doing. And sometimes you watch yourself that in the moment of action, an act happens and you know it was not you, but then it just happened. Like for example, somebody triggers you, somebody tries to put you in a situation where you have to fight, then you do fight. It's And that's what all of the great shaman masters also said. The North American leaders, hayokis Heyokas, sorry. And that's what they said, that there is a time when you should be quiet, but when you're pushed beyond a certain limit, then you have to fight. You have to show your warrior side, because you don't want the world to just take you like an easy target because you're peaceful. So you have to call out then. You have to fight. You have to pick up your sword and fight and slay. So there is a time for everything. Now you might say, but I'm very timid and I'm very coward because I'm raised in a society like that. That makes me coward. That tells me not to raise my voice. That tells me to bully others because I'm a coward and I want to feel stronger by bullying others, by laughing at others. So this you must change, because the law of the universe is what you give is what you get. If you think by you bringing others down for your sense of ego satisfaction because you are jealous of their skills and you're just jealous of them, it's going to take you down in very dark and low spaces in your life. And I'm not saying this because I just want to threat you, but this is the law of the universe. I was listening to this audiobook of Swami Paramahansa Yogananda, and he talks about this, that all of your sufferings, every human that is born and that they suffer, is their own karma. And it's all stored up in the lifetimes of births, rebirths, and deaths that you have gone through like infinite amount of that. So don't think that what you're doing now would not have any consequence. If you do wrong, you pay the price for that. So just be watchful on that and don't just think cowardice gives you prize. Because if you don't have the courage to stand up for the truth and speak about it and be about it, not just speak about it, many times just your silence could be displaying a lot of courage. But there might be other times when you've got to speak up and fight. Sometimes for yourself, for your rights, and sometimes for others. When you see something wrong is happening, and you must say that. Because if you don't, then sooner or later you would be in that situation where you would want help and you won't get it. But the universe supports the courageous, the truthful ones. And if you're truly acting in the right way, then the of God of truth and justice. That's why this I have this balance here. That is the Saturn planet. So Saturn, Lord Saturn is basically watching over all of these justices. So whatever you think is injustice now shall be balanced out. Because in the eternal law of the universe, everything happens at the right moment, at the right time. So if you're feeling like a moment is difficult and you've been seeking on justice and you want your things done, and you find there are a lot of demons around you, that's okay. Take it like it is the price that you're paying for some of your past karmas in this life or in your past life. So accept the pain, because that pain is not without a reason. Know that nothing happens without a reason. So you are suffering because that is your cleansing that is happening. If you made an accident and you broke a bone, it's your karma, it's your suffering, because you needed that accident, you needed that pain so that you could heal yourself. And this is the case for everyone on the planet. I'm just giving an example for somebody who's struggling with health or with finance or with relationship or with just happiness. So, by the law of the yin yang, you need to know the dark to know the light. If you are not left just with yourself, you do not truly understand the value of relationship. Or if you're just around too many people in a crowd and because you are too scared to face yourself, life will bring you to a point where you are forced into solitude so that you know who you are. And this is the thing, you truly cannot know yourself 100% any moment in time, because you are constantly changing. Because who you are, you're not a separate entity. You are what the society makes you, which is both true and false at the same time. Because if the society tells you that you're beautiful, you start to think you're beautiful. If the society tells you you're ugly, you start to think that you're ugly. But what is true, it's all a relative thing, because to somebody you might be ugly and to somebody you might be beautiful. To somebody you might be making sense and to somebody else you might be talking meaningless stuff. So who's to say? And the biggest problem is we constantly live with this understanding of I don't know. And everybody's taking a chance. Look at a child who's trying to learn something, like trying to learn some sport or trying to get a good grade in his school. So all that the child does is they study and they prepare, but they do not know what would be the score that they actually get in the result. All you can do is you can prepare from your side, but you do not know. It's like you have fallen. If, for example, you felt sick and you're not feeling well lately, then you go ahead and try a change of diet. You go ahead and try a change of your lifestyle, being more in nature or just relaxing, something like that, or taking some natural medicine, not antibiotics, some natural medicines, having a cleaner diet, eating more fruits, more plant based. And then you feel maybe you've started to feel good. Your gut feels better now. And you're feeling good within yourself. But there's no guarantee that, like, all of the things that you're trying would actually give you an immediate result and you feel absolutely perfect in one day. All that you do is truly try. But no amount of time can you say completely that something has a black or a white. So that puts you in a lot of state of I don't know. So for example, your haters, your enemies, your so-called, who push your buttons, who trigger you the moment you go outside of your home, in the public spaces, in office or in external world, or sometimes the surrounding. So these people, you truly cannot call them they're all evil, because they too would have a good side in them, like how you have a dark side in you. So this is the law of four. The law of four, even in yin yang. So the yin yang is basically a circle with the white and black, and in the white side of the fish there is a black dot, and in the black side of the fish there is a white dot. So that means in the devils also, in the demons, they have a dot which actually attracts them to the people of light. That's why the demons are attracted to the angels. And in angels, they do have a demonic side. That's why the angels are attracted to the demons. Now you might say this is not true. Angel is never attracted to the demon. But you see how opposite they are, and it's in the opposition. Like you find them, how can somebody be so demonic? How could their laughter be like a demon? Or just pointless joke on somebody. Or just filthy language. A sense of having no conduct. So you understand, because you're an empath, you understand that they are broken themselves, that's why they throw up their hate onto others. But you also know, because you are aware that they do have a goodness side in them. They do have a center in them that says they do understand what they're doing. That is there for sure. And when you realize and you look at the way the world works and how everybody suffers and everybody's in pain, and you have your pain and you see that the haters, they have got their pain, then you just give an eye of mercy on them and you just feel compassionate for them. So you just stay quiet. That's what you do. And that tends to shock your opponent side very much, because they thought that how come I threw the ball, now I expected a reaction, I expected a return back. But there was no reaction, because you were just so much at the center of your being, and you just realize that what is going on is that this whole world is suffering in their own ways. And then you just don't have any words left. You just don't have any reaction to give, because you see everything as one. And the demon outside who's trying to trigger you, you have seen their angelic side too, so then you don't fight. And that's why all of my haters and enemies seem to have disappeared. Though they do not stop from attacking me, but I understand their suffering and pain, and then I see it's exactly the same loss of control that I feel and what they feel. But their illusion is they think that you have a lot of control and you have a lot of perfection in you. But I understand I've got my flaws. And I understand that I'm not perfect at all. But it's the enemies, and they have this opinion about you that you are perfect while you're not. So because it's like this, a developer who develops the code is far more aware of their own flaws than the tester who is testing the code. So in my case, I'm the developer, and the opponent, the haters outside, they are the testers. So they think that they can push my buttons, but I am far more aware of my own flaws than what they know about me. Though they watch me 24/7, and I know I'm being watched, but the thing is, They also do not know themselves, just like how I do not know themselves. And all of us play the same game of I don't know. And when you are aware of this thing that I don't know, you live absolutely defenseless. You do not defend yourself. And there's a lot of saving of energy. And you're not doing this to save your energy for something, but you just see the pointlessness of defending yourself. Because who's saying, who's talking? And who's accusing you? Somebody who's himself a loser, somebody who's himself unclear. First of all, let's get this. It's not about loser or winner. It's that everybody moves through the same cloud of I don't know. And everybody's action is also just a mindless act. So somebody who wants to who just hates you, but they still watch over you, they still follow you. So see, they make so much effort to follow you, even though you go at whatever time. And then that makes me think, wow, basically these are like your fans, because nobody else would spend so much of their time and effort to study you so well. So they are like also your devotees. They are your devotees because they learn from you. So don't get mad when people act in weird ways. When people come in attacking ways, they've always done to the saints. Saints were always attacked by the thieves. But the thing is this, like when the encounter happens, the thief has no other choice but to transform himself to a saint, because the energy of the saint is as such. So the moment they actually come around you in your energy, they themselves get shocked, like what happened? And you did nothing. Like you're just yourself. You're just being yourself. That's all you do. And it's difficult to make sense out of all of this. Like you can never decode the mysteries of life. Nobody can. And because we cannot understand life, we tend to set goals for ourselves, because we think that at least if I have goals, I would not suffer the pain. I can cure myself of the pain of living. And everybody is trying to run away as far as possible from that center in themselves. That's why they keep themselves busy doing this and that. But everyone knows this, that being with yourself, or even in the crowd, you know that there is a background hollowness, emptiness that keeps calling you. And that is the voice of I don't know. And that is the voice of I don't have control. That is the voice of understanding that life is chaos. And people who say it otherwise are just plain liars. And I don't care about liars, because my channel is about truth. I'm talking to people who have some deeper sense and awareness. I don't talk to animalistic beings. No. So this is the thing. Like people, and there's a lot of power in this, in the sense the power is in not truly utilizing your power. You know what I'm saying? It's like how the Zen master said, without doing anything, everything gets done. And like Ramana Maharishi said about this in his videos, in his conversations on Who Am I, on his book Who Am I, you running around with the baggage of burden on your head, that I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and live like a rat in this rat race, because if I don't, I would be eaten up by the society. They're going to not let me live. Well, if that has to happen, that will happen. Try hard as you may to run. Death will get you, and death will get everybody else. And then you might say, but it's not just about death. I'm concerned about my life right now. I want to fix, and I've got to do this and that. That all is your destiny that is just unfolding. And it is like a fingerprint for everyone. Everyone's destiny is different. But at the core shell, as Buddha said, there is suffering that lies in everyone's life. There's no running around from that. So somebody who tells you that I'm better than you and so I'm laughing at you, you should not worry about that, because deep down you know the truth, that they are in pain. That's why they're trying to inflict the pain on you. Because basically, what you have inside is what you give to the outer world. If there is an orange and you squeeze the orange juice comes out of it. If you take an apple and you make juice out of it, it's apple juice. It's nothing else. So whatever people have inside of themselves is what comes out when the situation tests them. So coming to this pointer from Ramana Maharishi in his book Who Am I? Nan Yar. Its Tamil version is Nan Yar. And Ramana Maharishi was a great enlightened sage in South India. And he said that everything is done by the supreme creator, creative force of the universe. So you think that you are doing it, you see that because you say, but I did the cooking, my two hands did the cooking, so I did the cooking. But if the intention didn't come in your mind, which you don't know where it came from, and if the energy didn't stay in your body, if you wouldn't have gotten up, you wouldn't have cooked. So your claim of I'm the doer is false. You're not the doer. You, at the time of your conception itself, based on your past lives actions that you did, which in turn was pre-planned, everything gets pre-planned, and you tend to think that I'm the doer and I make plans and I've got to do this and I should hustle, else who's going to take care of me? That is not true. Everything, all of your act, your thoughts, your deeds, the country you're born to, the family that you're born into, the profession that you'll work, your interests, your passion, your desires, your hates, your distractions, things that you love, everything, all of that is already decided at the time of your birth. So you do not have a free will in truth. If you are honest and you just take a look, if you really zoom into this, you will notice that you do not have a free will. And that life moves you. And as life moves you, you tend to say, see, I had to make these moves and I had to do all of this shift in my life because not because it was your desire or not because it was you who took on that, but because the other waves pushed you. So if you sit in front of a river and watch the waves, you will see that no wave just works on its own independence. So the movement of one wave absolutely depends on all of the trillions of other waves that is linked to each other. But all of the wave are part of the same one ocean. That is your consciousness. But on the surface, it appears like we are all individual waves. But your movement of your wave wouldn't have happened if the waves behind you didn't move you. So, for example, if you say, I want to do this and that, is because the other waves push you in that direction. Sometimes it might be in a sense of support, other times it might be in a sense of opposition. When the world tells you, you can't do this, or they mock you, and then that gives rise to another character, ego character inside of you that says, no, I'm going to do just the opposite. And some other times, if you're in a supportive community where people support you, it might come in the sense of, yeah, I vouch for you. And you get all that support from people. But whatever be the stance, whether people are supporting you or people are anti of you, your action is not truly your action, because What you are trying to do in the outer world is you are trying to find a replica of someone like you who understands you through your lens. But you see, it's very, you can never find your own replica because there's no other you. And that's why people, this is the paradox of being born as a human, because you also love yourself so much that you want somebody else to understand and think like you. But if truly, if you are really looking for somebody else who's like you, then why are you not happy with you being yourself? That means you do not like yourself. That means there is a two in you. In your one body, there are two aspects in which you claim yourself as I. You like the aspect when the version of you is able to give you stuffs and you accept it as success and say, yeah, I like you. But when you the other side of you, which procrastinates, which is not that strong, or which is confused, or which is trying to learn, which doesn't know, then you don't like that, and you torture it like how society would. So basically, you, since your childhood, you saw the world as so much judging you since you're born as a child, that you tend to encompass a mini society inside yourself. So now you do not need the voice from the external world that says, you're not doing this right, or you're not good, you're not worth it. There's already a sitting judge in you that says, you're too slow, or you're too fast. I like you. I don't like you. All these voices in your head. Because you're trying to copy the society. But all of this comes into aspect when you're thinking that I am the doer and I'm going to do this and that. But what Ramana Maharishi says, as long as you just do this inquiry, who am I? Who am I is not the way to the external world. It's all going inwards. You ask yourself, what am I doing? Why am I so distracted? Why do I hate when people don't like me? Why does it satisfy my ego when people like me? And who are they and who is me? And is life all about conflicts? And if life is all about conflicts, then what am I doing? That's why you're forced into this question. Do you have truly free will? Do you really have the free will, or you're you're just deluded into this illusion? Or are you just ever comparing yourself to others that see they are better than me? The world outside laughs at me, baby, because they think that I'm a fool, or they praise me because maybe they think that I'm smart. They like me because they think maybe I'm nice, or they think that they make fun of me because they think I'm ugly. All of these voices, you see, the pros and the cons. Some people liking you and some people hating you, and that's the case with everyone. No matter you are the richest person of the world, so that man has got that many haters, and this equation just keeps on going up. So the more name, fame, fortune, and success you have, there are more supporters and there are more haters. And if you're at the low level, if you are somebody who nobody knows you, then you have lesser people who like you and lesser people who hate you. But this game goes on at every level, whether you are a king or you're nothing. What Ramana Maharishi says about is you should surrender and just accept, because you do not have any other choice. Anyhow, life has got supreme control and she makes the world go round. So your state of mind is actually like you're sitting in a train with a baggage of luggage on top of your head and running around within the compartments because you're trying to arrive at the destination while you are sitting in the train. So the train is anyway moving and you can keep your luggage down. But you won't do that because you think if I keep my luggage down and if I don't run inside the train, I would not arrive at the destination. Very much like there's an escalator that takes you from ground floor to the fifth floor, but you still keep on running inside because you think if you don't run, the escalator won't take you up. So, this is the false understanding, and this is to make us aware that we are not the doer, and whatever action needs to happen in the moment, that happens. So, you're not the doer doesn't mean that you don't have to work, because to be alive means you have got to work. You have got to work for being alive. You're living in a society where you are going to interact with rest of the people. Some will like you and some will not like you. Some will want to destroy you and some will want to be around you. Some would want to befriend you. Some would like to have a community sense with you, and somebody would want to call you names. So this is the thing, and staying with this awareness would make you, there's nothing to do, it's just the remembrance. It's just a plain remembrance, and that practice also, Nisargadatta Maharaj says in his book, I'm that the way to the truth is by knowing the false. So as long as you see that no matter where you are, you're always going to face this problem of duality, the good and the bad. The good and the evil runs in all corners of your life. And there's no way you can escape from that. So just do what you want to do, and don't worry about the results, whether it's going to give me a good feeling or not, whether it's going to give me that profit or not, whether it's going to make me feel good or not. Am I going to enjoy that? And if you don't feel like something and you don't enjoy that, then don't do it. But know that if it's something essential for you, like you can say, I just want to eat junk all day, and I just want to eat all the fried items and donuts all day, then you know that your body is telling you that you should not eat so many donuts. One or two is okay, but if you just keep on eating lots of donuts because you want to feel happy, you know that your body after a while will give up and it will say, no more donuts. I don't want to see donuts for weeks. So this is another way of exploiting your desires and take it all the way to the extreme, so that you've done it so much that it doesn't affect anymore. So if you want to eat sweet things, you just do it in excess, and then you naturally arrive at the point of a stop. So you don't want to crave that donuts anymore. If you think that you're sleepy and you want to sleep, sleep for as long as you want, and then you will find that after 10 or 12 hours of sleep, your body feels so heavy and you just want to wake up. You and know that you were not sleeping just because your body needed rest. Many times you are oversleeping because you want to avoid the problems, and you think that waking up means waking up to face the questions, and that is a lot of work, so let me just go to sleep or just keep lying. But you'll automatically get up when your body says, take me out of here, and then you just move. But all of these actions are not yours. So let go of this burden that I have to do this and I have to do that, and if I do this, the world will collapse, my world will collapse, or your world will collapse, or the universe is dying. Because know that you are just a speck in the universe, and whether you are alive or you're not alive, or whether the world around you is alive or they die, nothing actually is going to change, and nothing is going to have any sort of effect on you. Neither your disappearance would affect the world, nor somebody else's disappearance would affect you. Because what are we all? We are all just dust in the wind. Like that beautiful song of Kansas. All we are is dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. And no matter what you do or what you run away from or what you achieve, because this whole idea of running and desire and I want this and that for success is just a lust that drives you further crazy. from the center. And your center is such a thing that you are running away from that because you think there's something empty in you and you want to fill. And you run this whole life till you die to fill yourself. And don't you see, this hunger in you is insatiable. It's like a black hole. You can never fulfill it. But also, if you do not run after your desires, then it's scary. Then you feel that there's some darkness that is going to engulf you. But that darkness doesn't leave you if you have fulfilled your desires. That comes right after you have accomplished it. So it's like a race against that black hole, and it's always continually coming to get you. That is the death. That is the death. And since you're born, you're running after that. This race didn't start now. This race has just ever started the moment you are born, and you're put on that timer clock of society. Tuck, now, run. And you only stop at death. So watch and do this experiment. What happens if you don't do enough of doing? Now just sit with the undoing and see how it goes. Does that really make you mad? Does that really collapse your world? And what is your world after all? What do you truly want? Don't you see, your desires of success and ideas is all because you don't want the society to call you a fool. So the way you live and the way your idea of things are, of happiness, success, and joy, is not truly yours. It's all given to you by the external world. And you might take it or you might reject it. Of course, you need to be strong within yourself to go through the hate of the world for that, because nobody's hated more than somebody who's a free thinker. And that's why all of the great thinkers in the world, they were hated and killed and murdered, because the society cannot take a free thinker, somebody who can think for themselves. And that's why Socrates was forced to take the poison. In fact, he was not forced, he was given this option that you stop being so free and you stop talking what you're telling the truth and your experience, or you'll have to drink the poison. And he chose that, okay, I'll take this poison because anyway I will die, but at least I'll die with my message. My death would be a message. The problem that you might face is you see through that what you're doing is a lie, because that doesn't clearly fulfill you. That's why you look at the people in the outer world and they all look so frustrated. Where is this hate and fear coming from? Where is this hatred and jealousy coming from? Because people are doing mindless, meaningless things. They are living their life meaninglessly. And when they see somebody like you who is at least thinking in the right way, at least doing things the way they think is right, they can't stand you. They can't stand your truth. They can't stand your freedom. They can't stand your courage. So now my question to those cowards is, if you don't like what you're doing, why do you do that? Then they say that, no, because I've just come too far and I don't see a way going back. I don't have that control in me. It's as if a machine runs me. I just don't have control. So see, there you are. You don't have control. You do not have the free will. And taking a look at the view from a higher perspective, you see that things are just as they are. Some people are having more of demonic tendencies, some people are more on the dark side, and some people are more on the light side. Some people are just born that way. And the law of the universe works. If you do wrong, wrong will be done to you. If you do good, good will come to you. But to choose why am I acting evil or why am I acting as an angel is also, you don't know. That is your nature. That was the way you were born. You were born as an angel, or you were born as a devil. And there's not to say that. Uh, I was watching a video of Alan Watts yesterday, and he says in this video that constantly the fear is that the black is as much scared of the white, that the white, the good, the forces of the goodness would eat up the evil forces. And that's why the evil wants to defend itself by keeping the white far away, the angels away, because they are scared of the power of love. That's why the mind and the heart, the yin and the yang, mind is black and your heart is white. Mind always wants to boss over and control the heart. And the heart, which is so much powerful and strong, without doing anything, just sits and just stays there and lets the black mind play out. That's why you see people in this world where they are just psychopaths and ego, people with strong egos, right? Who want to control others, who want to manipulate others, who want to have an opinion about others. So, where is that coming from? All of that comes from because they are born that way. They are born into that darkness. And when you realize that, then you do not have hate for them. You do not love them because naturally that's not your nature. You can never ever bond with dark entities. That's never going to work. But you understand that the reason why they are acting that way, and since you understand that, it doesn't affect you. And it doesn't mean that you would not have to face the consequences. You would have to face the consequences, like how Christ faced the consequences, right? He was divine God, but he chose to be with the truth. And you might say, but then if there is no free will, how did he choose his free will? Maybe that was the way the creator created that. Maybe that was the way God wanted it to be. And he was a free wanderer, a free soul. He didn't have nothing because his life was all about the message, and his own people never understood him. They thought him like he was just another normal teenage boy growing up who's just who's just curious boy, a 13-year-old while he was young, and he left his home and learned about the truth with the masters all over the world. He also came to India, and there are a lot of videos on the internet that talks about this. And he learned from the masters, and he knew of the truth. He gave so many rigorous tests for that. 40 days of no food, no nothing, continuous test with the devil, and devil came to just outrightly test him day and night with temptations, with power, with greed. But he didn't take any of that. He just didn't, because he was God. He was divine. He was beautiful in a true sense as a God. That's why everyone loves Christ. But nobody wants to live like that because it's very difficult. It's so difficult to be so much right with the truth. See, the thing with the truth is it's very attractive, it's very beautiful, and she calls you, but the thing is she will eat you alive. And the problem with the lies is the lies are very much attractive too, and it gives you comfort and it tastes good. But after you have eaten that, you have an uneasiness in your stomach and you can't digest that lie. And you feel the discomfort of lie. And there's inherently the nature of the lie is like it would never keep you satisfied. But when you come to the truth side, there's a price you have to pay. Truth doesn't come for free. Truth will demand for everything that you have. Everything that you have. So don't worry too much. Don't worry about anything, in fact. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about death. Go all the way to the extreme, because all of your problems are just a very, very tiny, tiny, tiniest of the tiniest fragments of death. And death is so, so scary. Like, death means non existence. Despite whatever trouble you one has on while being alive in your body, at least you are there. Imagine the time, just imagine it. Like, close your eyes and imagine no light. Close your ears and feel no sound coming. Close your breath and imagine no breathing in and out. Imagine no feeling, no sensation of the body. That is what is death. What is death? Death is the ending of the five senses. And it's okay to talk about this, but the fear comes with its full force. Just take a look at the moment you fall sick or you get some fever. How unpleasant is the feeling? You directly take that paracetamol so that you come out of that fever, because you want to feel good and back into your good health. Or people drink or smoke or take psychedelics to get out of, just to lighten themselves out of this burden of being alive, because being alive feels good, but also it comes with a ton of problem solving things that you have to learn to deal with people, learn to deal with problems. And what are people after all? Problem. Most difficult thing that you can learn in this life is to deal with people. So there's nothing to do. If you have to feel the if you have to feel the stress of the moment, the pain of the moment, then take it. Because if it has come, it will play out for its while and then it will go on. It will move out. Like, for example, you're sitting or you're lying down or you're walking, and suddenly you feel a pain in some part of your body. And you don't know where the pain arose from, but you feel that in your body, right? And then you just watch that pain, and after you're watching it for a while, for a few seconds, you see it just disappeared. Or maybe it might last a few minutes. And then you feel it just disappeared. So there's nothing so much for you to do. Whatever needs to happen, things happen. And you make that and you just allow it. Because if you think that you are the one which is stopping something, that is also not true. Like, if you think you have the power, why would you stop yourself, right? A lot of people say, I'm coming in my own way. So if you're coming in your own way, why are you coming in your own way? Get out of your way. So, since this statement is not so easy to do, that means you are not coming in your own way. You feel that there are forces that stops you from doing something. And if that was not the case, imagine the freedom. You might have just done it. Imagine the freedom. You might have just enjoyed it. But did you truly enjoy? Watch this. Watch this. The games of the mind. Mind will tell you, hey, go ahead and do this. And I promise you, after you have done that, you're going to feel awesome. So you take that bait and you go out to that place and feel, and you did all the things your mind told you to do: shop this, eat this, take that video, make this, that, whatever. Go to that awesome place and enjoy. And you did that and you enjoyed. And like this, you have done so many times in your past, but still nothing seems to fulfill you. You always want more of that. Because your mind says, you have the memory that last time I went to that beach, I had a lot of fun. But that same very day, while you were back and you came home and you thought, Again, there is this fear of me having to do so much amount of lifting that I have to do. I've got so much things to fix, and I don't know how am I going to do that, or who's going to guide me on that. Or if I talk to someone else and seek their advice, I don't know if their advice is right or wrong. I don't know if that uh, analyst is telling me truth or not. You don't know anything. All you do is you just move, you take chances. Your mind tells you you should do 10 things in a day, but you know that by the way the life is, doing one or two things in a day correctly and nicely itself takes a lot of effort. And you feel, no, that's a very miscalculation. And then you don't even want to think and waste your time on planning, on doing this diagram, my mind map chart. That is, you just want to let go, and you just want to be, just want to relax. You just want to be alive, and you're thankful for that. You're thankful for being alive. You're thankful for a moment just stop and look at what you have, and it's so much that you should be definitely thankful for life, for whatever you have, for the food that you got, for the life that you have, for the skills that you have, for everything that you have, for the fact that your eyes can see, your hands can do things. And surrender whatever hate or suffering from the world you get. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't do, then, and it has come your way, then accept it. And you will feel that the moment you have accepted the pain loses its grip on you. So people will be throwing up their hate because they want to be you and they're not you. So they throw up their hate in nasty ways by being jealous or passing comments or, talking shit, doing their drama. But you just let it come, and as it has come, it will just go away. It will lose its effect on you. Like when Buddha was preaching, because he was an enlightened monk, enlightened sage, then a lot of haters would come and start to throw like stones on him, like, and say, why are you preaching? I don't think you are worthy of preaching. So he wouldn't react. And since he didn't react, one person who hated him so much came back and said, how come you don't have anger against me? I wanted to kill you, but you don't have anger against me. And he said, no, because if I don't take your hate, then it goes back to you. And that man felt so guilty. He felt so ashamed of what he had done. So, such is the world, and this has always been the world like this. This is not something new that is happening. Your survival, your problems, your stuff that you have to deal with is nothing new. You ask your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents, go back in history, you read the history of the countries, nations, how they fight their neighbors and how they are so mad and lusting over power. It's all the same. But then there are these techniques that the saints said, like for example, make offering prayers to the Lord gives you a sense of peace. You feel that there is some higher power that takes care of you, and you just feel loved by that. That's why you have these beautiful cards and words of Christ, of Lord Krishna, of Radha, of the beautiful Buddha, of Zen Master Lao Tzu, of Ramna Maharishi, Nisargadatta Maharaj. Why? Because these words have a lot of power to lighten you from the burden of running, to lighten you from the burden of It's okay if you do not want to run, and it's okay if you just want to be, because you'll die out of running. Run this and run that, and be on time and run around this, and if you don't do this, that is going to fall off. Trying to make a balance by keeping yourself imbalanced. How does that work? So you basically have a fear of control. You want to control everything. You want things to go the way you want to, but you know that life is ever like holding sand in your hand, and sand always slips out. So your idea of control, that things should go the way I want to, is an absolute illusion. Whatever is meant for you shall be with you, and when it has done its time, it will fly. Try hard as much as you want to have it. Don't you see, your own body is not with you? Your own body will leave you faster than you think. Death is not 100 years of a human life is not that long a time. You don't have any control over time. And the moment you want to grasp time and say, I want to win over you, it's never going to happen. Or the amount of things you want to enjoy in a day, because you think life is like a cake and I want to eat it all of the cake. I want to eat it because I'm so greedy and I just want to enjoy this. You see, it's not like that. Every day is a gift, and every day you are given the things that you are given, but you just don't notice it as a present. You don't relish it. You don't enjoy that. You're not thankful for that tea. You're not thankful for that morning sun. You're not thankful for you being alive on this beautiful planet. But you are rather running around for some illusion in the forward moment, that once I arrive there and I've got to do this, then I will be happy. And when that moment comes, you surpass that. And you never truly slow down and look at your life from the time you were born till now. Because life is constantly like you're consuming life, and you want to relish the taste of it, every bite of it. But so you have done all your life, so sometimes why don't you just, if you want to feel good, even without having to go out and do something, you might just go back and run back your memory lane, or maybe of your childhood, or sometime when you had a lot of fun, and just rethink that memory that lived there. For example, when I think of how beautiful was Alps when I went to Switzerland, and that beautiful Alps and that beautiful nature, how everything is like just like a picture, like a painting. It makes me feel happy, even if I'm not there now. But I do have the memory of that, and I think I can relive that moment through that, looking at that photo, through looking at that memory in my own experience. Or how about thinking of that childhood memory when you went for picnic with your parents, and enjoyed your favorite food, and how the food you was made in open, and it was so much fun sitting around that ocean, playing with your little friends. All of that is priceless, because you can never go back in time. You just have a memory of that, and you can never go back in time to try to think and replicate that. You can do that, but the first time how you experience it, that same joy, you can never copy paste that. Even if you go to the same place 10 times again, you can never ever replicate that exactly. Like, I remember I went to one Buddhist temple when I was in ninth standard with my sisters and my parents, and that was such a beautiful Buddhist temple, wherein they give you a crown, a golden color crown, and everyone has to tie it around your head. So in the front is a crown, and at the back is a red colored thread. You tie it on your head, and there in on that beautiful marble, There's big round concentric circles, and you have to walk around that, and you have to say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. That means I go to the lotus feet of the Buddha. And as you chant that, the the top chamber of that temple is so high, and you hear your own voice echo, and the vibe, the aura of that entire temple is so different. You don't feel you're on this earth. You feel so much like you're in heaven. The aura, the energy of that temple is so beautiful. And not just that, any temple that that actually resonates with your soul, or any country or any visit that you do to a historical place, that you feel that your soul has a calling, probably because you have lived in that place sometime before in your past life. And that's why you see how come people all over the world have got different tastes, and they've got different taste and affinity for different cultures, even though you may or may not have been to that country or that land, but you feel that you are attracted to that, their music, to their food, to their culture, to their clothing, to their cutleries, to their spiritual knowledge, because you might have lived in on those places in your past life, and you have got those connections, and that's what actually develops a sort of taste inside of you. So just be free, and just be free, because what else would you want to do? Would you want to chain yourself and make yourself a slave of others' opinions? That doesn't work for me. And if it works for you, then keep on doing it as long as you enjoy it. And when you're done with it, then come to this side and just be free. Because all that you truly want is freedom. You don't want anything else apart from that. Like if everything is given to you, but it's at the cost of you should not do things the way you want to, what's the point? Be so free that even if like Viktor Frankl's book Man's Search for His Meaning, he says that at any point in time, everything could be taken away from a man. And this is from a World War survivor while he was in a refugee state, in complete mess with nothing at all. Nothing. No family, no nothing, no food, no nothing at all. Like people are just dying around him in the prison. And still on that state, when one prisoner was given a bread, that prisoner shared his bread with the other person who was about to die. And it's not that he gave because he was very healthy, he was himself dying. But he still gave his bread to the other person. And he still used to smile every day, being in the prison, at the verge of dying. So, what Viktor Frankl says, man's search for meaning, you can take everything from a man, but never his attitude to how he reacts to it. And I'm not just talking about man because man has a gender. I'm talking even women are like man, I'm saying. In the sense, not about it's not about gender, it's about you as a human. Everything can be taken away from a human, but not their not you cannot control the way how they're going to take it. So if they want to throw their hate or they want to give you death, and if you still have chosen to be happy with it, then they have lost and you have won. You see that? There's so much power in that. And that's why controlling bodies don't like you. Because they see you're so much free. But that's okay. You feel the pain and you take it because you don't have any other choice. And you feel the joy and you take it. When the joy comes, you take it, you enjoy it. And when the pain comes, you suffer that. When there's time of laughter, you laugh. And when there's time to cry, you cry. And you don't hide it that I'm crying and I should hide it. Because if the society sees you to cry, then they will say, oh my gosh, poor you. And why should a man not cry? Man is bleeding and crying every single day, every single second. The very fact that a man pretends like he's strong is because he's broken. But the society taught you like men should not cry. It's bullshit. And that's the reason for violence in society. So that's why you see women and children, they are not so much suffering and depressed like men are. Because they are told to act so tough all the time. And this is actually going to break you down. This will break you mentally. When you cry and when you ease out, when you truly surrender, that is what surrender is. You surrender to the pain and you accept that life is testing you, and maybe you don't have the courage left because you've been just too courageous all this while. You've been way too strong all this while, and you need to lighten yourself up. But since men are told to be never crying, and that's what boys are told like as they grow up, that don't be a girl. See, you are crying like a girl. Don't be a girl. This is because they want to suppress the feminism, the feminine side within the man. And every man has got their feminine side. And every female has got, because you're not just this body as a logo on this planet. Everyone has got these two energies in them. And the moment the society teaches you to suppress your feminine side is exactly your point of becoming a psychopath. That's why you see so much bitter men out there who cannot who just hate females. They look at a female and say, fuck her, I hate her. Laugh at females, laugh at girls, hate girls. Because they've been told by the society to not be themselves and to not accept the pain and loosen it. So that suppressed pain, where do you think is it going to go? It's going to go out in the form of violence. Violence towards whom? Towards females. Violence towards whom? Towards children. Violence towards whom? Towards the external world. So when I see men act so demonic, I understand where it's coming from. And the reason is their suppression of their pain. Their suppression of their pain and faking it that no, I'm all good and I'm strong and tough. Because they were barred from crying. And now that has led up to a massive amount of pile of pain in them. Pain is so much that they do not even feel the pain. And that's what makes a man dead. That's what makes a man zombie. And there might be a lot of women out there too like that. Because they have chosen to be a toxic woman because they felt that if I stayed sober and myself and too real and soft, then the world is going to crush me. So the women also started copying men and started being like a toxic man, a toxic woman. And that's the fall of a society. When toxicity is too much and there's no space for growth, anytime you show up as a real seed that wants to grow, and they cannot take your softness, they cannot take your beauty, they cannot take your feminism. And they want to control you, or they want to just rape you of your energy, rape you of your innocence. That's what the energy vampires do, by the way. But no one understand why they do that. Is basically because they are themselves traumatized. And when you realize that, then of course you don't like that. You don't like their hate towards you. but you know where it's coming from, and then you just do what needs to be done in the moment. If you have to fight, well, then buckle up and fight. If you have to let go, then let go. There's no fine solid rule that says that you should always just let go. If somebody's coming to attack you and kill you, naturally you've got to fight in self defense. You want to keep this body alive. And if somebody is just playing out like a fool or just acting stupid, then you let them. So you look at the situation and you gauge accordingly. So coming back to the topic that I started with, you do not have free will. Action happens through you. In the moment, if an act needs to happen, if you've got to fight, then the fight happens. In the moment, if you've got to just be silent and meditate, chant Om, then you just chant and say Om. Chanting doesn't mean that you're not going to fight when the situation demands you. Situation wants you to be a warrior, you've got to be up for that. Situation wants you to be quiet, because there are moments in your life where you feel that just don't want to speak for days. I just don't want to say nothing for days. Then you just do that. So whatever is, it arises in the moment and it plays through it. And all you're doing is you're just watching. You're just watching. You watch the hate arise in you, you watch the anger arise in you, you watch your actions, how you act. You watch yourself like a stranger, as if you are watching a movie. You watch your hands cook for you. You watch your hands make food for your mouth. And you cook it and your mouth eats it and you watch it. You watch your body move. Or you watch a video of yourself, what you did yesterday, and you see it like a memory, and how your whole life is just a memory. Your whole life is a movie. You watch your moments of desperation of you trying to learn something and you fail. You watch your desperation for the time to go fast, and that is the illusion. You want to learn that thing faster, but you know that you can't. It is going to take its own time.